So first off, I want to say thank you to the board of the Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce, the chair, Patrick Summers, and to Todd Roden, president and CEO, for organizing this event. I remember when Todd came and it was really, really hot, and I appreciate what he just now said because he technically gave my whole speech in summarizing how much we think of the city of Palm Desert. So on behalf of the Palm Desert City Council, Mayor Pro Tem Gina Nastandi, Council members Kathleen Kelly, Jan Harnick, and Sabby Jonathan, I want to now thank you all for coming to hear about how great we think our city is. Bluebird of happiness. We're looking forward to sharing some of the many exciting things happening in Palm Desert. But first, I want to take a few minutes to recognize some very important people in our community. And I believe, okay, I can't see what's going on, but you should be able to see some photographs of our committee and commission members. So I'm talking about Palm Desert's volunteers. The dictionary defines volunteer as an unpaid assistant, and that is an understatement. These remarkable individuals, many of whom are here today, give generously of their time, their talents, and their expertise in service to our community. They, as much as anyone else, move our community forward and make Palm Desert the uniquely wonderful place that it is. I want to specifically recognize and thank the many kind and dedicated people who volunteer to serve our city in groups like our Citizens on Patrol, our library, and our public art docents. Another group of volunteers whose selfless service is sometimes not recognized as such are the scores of men and women who serve on Palm Desert's 17 standing committees and commissions. And again, many of those are here today as well, so that we can acknowledge and say thank you to them. As well as those who volunteer for the various ad hoc committees that are sometimes created to advise the council on important issues. So let's watch and learn a little bit more about these civic-minded volunteers. Well, always the first commission that pops into my mind, because I was so out of place when I first started being the liaison to that one, is the Art and Public Places Commission. You talk about a significance to a city. I think that's the most visible thing that people see in Palm Desert, and they don't realize the background of the dedication of these members that serve on that Art and Public Places.
Our docents are key to that because they help visitors who have heard about our program identify all of the locations where they can appreciate the art. They give background, they give details. The program wouldn't be half as effective without them.
Another committee that we have, which is of great value to the city of Palm Desert, is the Architectural Review Committee. This one is comprised of many experts. Their expertise is so valuable, and they're usually professionals, which means they took time out of their day to come in and serve our city, to keep our city standards up so very high. We can't thank them enough for what they do for our city, because it keeps everything looking like people expect to see when they come to the city of Palm Desert.
When you think about our committees and commissions, it's really important to think about our marketing committee, because they're the experts. They are all so professional at what they do, and they share the message of Palm Desert with everyone else. And they do a great job. Palm Desert welcomes you is what they came up with, and they do a great job of making sure everyone feels welcome in Palm Desert.
So public safety is so important because it's a foundation, right? If you don't have public safety, if you don't feel safe in your home, if you don't feel safe in your place of business, then the rest almost doesn't count. You've got to have that foundation of public safety. And that particular committee watches over that issue for us, and they coordinate and communicate with our public safety officials, with our first responders, police, fire, emergency, to ensure that the quality of our public safety is the best that it can possibly be.
We're really grateful that they take their time to do this. The expertise we have on that is immeasurable, the expertise that they bring to that commission.
The Library Promotion Committee is comprised of people that love to read. Books are so important, and they are tireless volunteers. And the committee also makes sure that it's a well-rounded library, and they offer programs whether you're 1 year old or 100 years old. So they try to get the whole community involved with their events and activities. And a little secret that many of you in the audience and in the community might not know, but our Palm Desert Library is the second busiest in all of Riverside County, and in large part due to our wonderful volunteers.
The Joslyn is a tremendous resource, not just to Palm Desert, but to our Cove communities and beyond. The array of services is extremely extensive. There are vital ways in which the Joslyn provides socialization. We collaborate with Jewish Family Services to bring isolated folks to the Joslyn Center for a lunch, for a program which in many instances is the only social engagement those folks have. For older seniors who are mobile, the Joslyn still, in essence, becomes their extended living room. For younger folks, there's the opportunity to learn music, the arts, to be supported by exercise programs. All of those services are completely dependent upon volunteers. The hours given by volunteers at the Joslyn total over 15,000 annually. So you can do the math. If those folks were employees, salary and benefits would probably approximate $500,000.
We're very, very grateful to our volunteers at the Historical Society because as docents, they familiarize themselves with what's going on in Palm Desert, the history of Palm Desert, and walk the visitors through, showing the pictures, the aerials, which are always fascinating to see. Aerials tell quite a story, and talk about the famous people who have lived in Palm Desert and who still live in Palm Desert.
Well, the Audit, Investment, and Finance Committee is clearly the most exciting committee of all the ones that we have here in the city. And I'm saying that, you know, as an accountant, as a CPA, I cannot overemphasize how important it is. And the reason for that is it's one of those issues that people don't really think about, the finances of a city, until it's a problem. And then they think about it a lot. The members of the Audit and Investment Committee are the watchdog group. They make sure that there are no financial issues. Maybe not to some people the most exciting subject, but it's something that's so important because if our financial house is not in order, then everything else doesn't really work the way it should.
So our Hotel and Signature Events Committee, along with our El Paseo Business Improvement District, really focus on creating events and an environment that welcomes people to El Paseo and to all our events. Our hotel and signature events, it's comprised of a lot of people from the tourism community. So we have people from hotels who really can give us good ideas how to appeal to our tourists, our guests, and our community members better. And we also have the Convention and Visitors Bureau on that committee, and they do a great job of helping us understand what we can do better and how we can do it the very best to really brand Palm Desert and to share with people who we are.
residents of our city affordable housing properties, as well as other residents. They entertained whether there should be a change in the smoking policy and were extremely passionate about the importance to residents of having a smoke-free environment. That had an impact on the council. And so volunteering is a way for residents to address issues of concern to them.
Citizens Sustainability Committee is comprised of several people. We have a professional landscaper on the committee, a retired professor of engineering is on the committee. We have a couple of people from mass transit that serve on the committee. We have some business owners. We have a former bicycle shop owner. And we have people that are in the alternative mode of transportation business that are on the committee. We also look at air quality. We've looked and discussed leaf blowers and trying to find out how we can find maybe a more eco-friendly type of leaf blower. We, again, back to transportation. We're trying to make our city a little more walkable, pedestrian friendly.
Had the Cultural Resources Preservation Committee and the Historical Society not gotten together and worked on the saving of the Miles Bates House, it would no longer exist. They all got together and planned this out, saved the wave, so to speak, saved this particular house, and then put it up, the city of Palm Desert put it up for auction, and this family came from the east and fell in love with it, bought it, and it is now in the process of being restored. And historic sites are a resource for our city to bring in visitors from all over the world. This is a one-of-a-kind house that got saved because of this commission, and we're very grateful for that.
One of our most exciting committees is our youth committee. And it's simply for the fact it's comprised of our youth from all different schools, and they've taken on such really daunting subject matter as bullying. And they go into our K through 5 classes and talk to them about bullying. And they go into the middle schools too. They go into the Jocelyn Senior Center, and they have a technology day where they help the people who are clients of Jocelyn learn more about technology. How can they FaceTime their family? How can they use their computers and their other technology better? So they're coming up with really cutting edge ideas, and the way they implement it and the excitement they show, the passion they show is exciting. This is truly the future of our community, and it's wonderful watching them put it together.
The Parks and Rec Committee is very important to our city, and the reason for that is that a mantra in our city is healthy lifestyle. It's not just about parks, it's also about recreational opportunities. So they're focusing on our many trails, on bicycling, on walking, as well as some other exciting things coming up.
Our volunteers on the Parks and Recreation Committee are doing an awesome job. Just take a walk around one of our parks. They are so well maintained, and they are such a boost to our community.
You know, we have 17 committees and commissions, and they're all special. The Planning Commission is kind of special. And the reason for that is it often acts as our gatekeeper, and it makes decisions about what will physically be built in our city. And we know that when something is built, it's there, maybe not for good, but for a long, long time. So you don't get a do-over, you've got to get it right. And our Planning Commission gets it right. They do an outstanding job.
Citizens on Patrol.
I deeply appreciate our citizens on patrol.
We have not only residents of Palm Desert, but we have people that we call snowbirds that come from other states.
I think it's close to $600,000 they save our city because that means we need to use our police officers less. I don't think a day goes by that I don't see a citizens on patrol, whether they're helping out with a traffic accident or doing something fun like the half marathon race we just had a couple of weeks ago, and they're out there directing traffic.
They are a fun group. They know how to have fun and at the same time to do the job that they have volunteered for.
Every single event I go to is completely dependent on their presence, not just to direct traffic, but to be a friendly and welcoming presence, to answer questions, to be alert to people's needs.
We get from the public many letters saying, thank you so much. During that traffic accident, I was so traumatized, and a citizen on patrol person helped calm me down, gave me my bottle of water, and just generally helped me know what to do next. This group of volunteers is extraordinary.
And we just couldn't do this without them, and my hat's off to them.
So anytime you see them, be sure to say thank you, because they are the face of Palm Desert. We have so many committees and commissions and opportunities for the public to get involved that anytime I meet anybody that asks me a question or starts to complain about something, we immediately say, go to our website, find which committee and commission makes you happy, and get involved in your city. It makes a tremendous difference. This is your community, your city. You need to speak up and get involved.
Without a doubt, our community volunteers build the foundation for our community.
And if you don't see times that work for you, or days that work for you, or topics that seem related to your life and interests, we want to hear about that, because hearing that feedback is how we can continue to improve and incorporate the wisdom, the life experience, and most importantly, the imaginations of all our residents.
I'll share with you that there's not a single major decision that the City Council makes without the input of those committees and commissions. So from the city's perspective, it's hugely important. Look into our committees and commissions. Find one that appeals to you, get involved, you will never regret it.
And thank you to my fellow council members for their participation in that video. As Todd said, this is such a nice, small community. Everywhere you go, you're going to see the faces of all those people. And I hope that, like me, you're filled with a renewed appreciation for the dedication and the selflessness of Palm Desert's many volunteers. They are truly our community's heroes. In 2015, when I last spoke about Palm Desert's state of the city, we were emerging from the Great Recession, and the city was very much in a recovery mode. Today, 4 years later, so much has changed. Palm Desert's general fund revenues have increased from about $48 million in 2015 to $58 million in the current fiscal year. And of course, most of you know that that means our expenses have gone up as well for public safety and other items. But Palm Desert is growing and moving forward again, and that is good news. When we talk about Palm Desert's future, we must start with our Envision Palm Desert Strategic Plan. Our strategic plan represents a year-long effort by more than 100 community stakeholders who charted a 20-year vision for Palm Desert. And many of you are in the room today, and I just eternally thank you for spending your time and giving us your ideas for the future of Palm Desert. 5 years into implementation, the city's already taken many steps to realize the strategic plan's vision. One of the highest priorities identified in both the strategic plan and our recently updated general plan is the city core. We're working hard to develop a new downtown Palm Desert, a walkable and bikeable go-to destination that attracts not only our locals, but our visitors as well. To accomplish this goal, the general plan has identified some key steps, including Highway 111 frontage roads. We're going to rework them to ease the traffic flow when they're driving on the frontage road, wider sidewalks, and landscaping that is going to be stunning. For our famous El Paseo, we're fortunate to have an extraordinary expert, the Gibbs Planning Group. We received guidance on how to enhance the desert's most elegant and celebrated shopping district. Suggested options included shade, that's common sense for all of us, right? Outdoor dining, decorative crosswalks, wider sidewalks, and pedestrian crossings. We noticed that pedestrians crossed wherever they wanted, so we decided to kind of identify those and make them a little more accessible so people could cross in mid-block. Some of these improvements can be in place as soon as this year, and it's definitely going to make the street more walkable and inviting. We plan to focus work in the off-season to minimize disruptions to business and shoppers. However, I have to say, I'm not sure that Palm Desert really has an off-season anymore. When I read that sentence, I couldn't identify it because it seems like we're just as busy in June, July, and August as we are at other times. An exciting new dimension to El Paseo is the opening last year of Hotel Paseo. This beautiful 150-room boutique hotel and its restaurant AC3 created more than 300 new jobs. It also brought something fresh and new to El Paseo, which stimulated activity on the street. And of course, many thanks to our Art and Public Places Commission, because they worked what one would say overtime and stretched their imagination to allow the Airstream to be part of the public art. Very extraordinary. Our city is always cutting edge on deciding what new things can be added. So, prime examples of a vibrant and growing El Paseo for our new retailers, including Soft Surroundings, Lorna Jane, and Mac. We also have 2 new restaurants on El Paseo, recently opened Kitchen 86 and Eddie V's Prime Seafood, scheduled to open on the northeast corner of El Paseo and Monterey Avenue this fall. So some of you are thinking, whoa, wait, there's already something there. What's going to be replaced? Another exciting highlight of our updated general plan is its vision for San Pablo Avenue. Our goal on San Pablo is to create a vibrant, walkable community space that attracts local residents and visitors, and it can serve as a home for special events, farmers markets, and live music. Coming changes to San Pablo also include new trees and landscaping, enhanced bike lanes and parking, a roundabout at San Pablo and San Gorgonio, and a road diet that's going to narrow part of the wide 4-lane road to just 1 lane in each direction. So it'll kind of slow down traffic and let people see the businesses that are around there. We went out to bid for construction last month, and we expect to break ground May 1st. I hope you will join us, and I know you're all getting out your calendars right now. Join us on May 1st, Wednesday morning, 9 a.m., to celebrate this momentous historical occasion. University Village near Cal State's Palm Desert campus and UCR is another dynamic place where our community can grow and be attractive to new demographics. Our university neighborhood-specific plan envisions development with a range of housing to accommodate a variety of household sizes and income levels. Streets, of course, are going to be pedestrian and bicycle friendly. Parks and open spaces are going to offer a range of opportunities for recreation, living, and learning. We hope that students, young professionals, and families who are just starting out will be attracted by this very unique neighborhood. We're already seeing development activity near the universities, including a massive mixed residential and commercial project from Genesis and a large residential development by Ponderosa Homes. Developer BlackRock has purchased roughly 170 acres as part of the university neighborhood-specific plan. Their proposed design brings fresh concepts to the desert, including small 4,000 square foot lots, community gardens and yoga pads, and a network of bike paths. The project's 1,100 homes, and the first phase includes 240 houses and 2 public parks. Grading is scheduled to start this summer. I imagine by now you've noticed I've said several things are going to start in 2019. I think this 2019 is going to be a stunning year for our city. Commercial development is also occurring in the area. We have 2 new hotels, including a Holiday Inn Express Suites, working their way through the city's entitlement process, with construction expected to begin this spring, and spring began yesterday, so we're on our way, right? Monterey Crossings, which is at the northeast corner of Dinah Shore and Monterey Avenue, is a new retail center which is scheduled to begin construction in June. Signed tenants include Chick-fil-A, Dickey's Barbecue, or BBQ, and Pokehana, with more to come. A lot of you already know what that is. That's a new restaurant I've never heard of. CarMax, just east of Monterey Crossings, is already under construction with completion expected in October. I'm sure some of you have already been by that to see that construction's going on. One of the strategies outlined in Palm Desert's Economic Development Strategic Plan is the establishment of a new proactive business outreach program. The program, which is supported by a new full-time position in our Economic Development Department, will focus on ensuring that existing Palm Desert businesses can flourish and grow. And since that includes many of you in this room, I think you realize how important you are to the city of Palm Desert. We're also working with new owners of Westfield Palm Desert to assist in any opportunities to enhance the mall. In addition, the city is developing incentives to retain existing businesses and attract new ones to Palm Desert. And of course, cannabis. Some of the new businesses coming to Palm Desert are based on cannabis, and this is apparently good news for our residents and visitors who no longer have to travel to other Coachella Valley communities to purchase these products, which are legal in California. The city completed permitting for 11 cannabis businesses last November, including 6 retail, 3 manufacturing, and 2 cultivation businesses. 4 are already opening, including one on Highway 111 and one on El Paseo. We're grateful to Palm Desert voters for approving Measure Q last November, as we believe those revenues from these businesses will help address any impacts that this new and rapidly growing industry might have on our community. Clearly, we want to preserve the institutions and qualities that make Palm Desert what it is today. However, we know that we also need to look to the future to ensure that Palm Desert and the entire Coachella Valley remain vital and economically strong. To that end, the city is partnering with the Coachella Valley Economic Partnership, CVEP, and Cal State Palm Desert to establish a digital innovation hub, or iHub, in Palm Desert. The iHub will leverage Cal State's existing high-speed broadband system to attract new technologies and related jobs, further expanding our regional economy beyond hospitality. Space across from the Cal State campus has been selected, and we're working with CVAP and Cal State to get the iHub and an associated cybersecurity training program at Cal State up and running this year. We've talked about some projects and institutions particular to Palm Desert, but regional projects and collaboration are important as well. CV Link is an example of this type of project. Palm Desert differs from some of our neighboring communities in that CV Link will largely use our existing bike routes throughout the community. One exciting exception is a proposed spur connecting CV Link to the Bump and Grind trailhead. And I imagine many of you in this room have been using that wonderful hiking trail. So this fun, common sense connection will enhance Palm Desert's already outstanding options for outdoor recreation. Staff is working on the final environmental clearances, and CV Link will be coming before the City Council in the next 60 days. And of course, education. Education's been a long-time priority in Palm Desert. Palm Desert High School recently took first place again in the local academic World Quest competition. They will compete on a national level on April 27th in Washington, D.C. We continue to work closely with Cal State, the school districts, the University of California, Riverside, and College of the Desert to ensure that Palm Desert remains the region's education epicenter. Palm Desert continues to be home to the fastest growing community college in California. Last year, College of the Desert celebrated its 60th anniversary, and for the 4th year in a row recorded its largest graduating class. COD is also turning heads both on a state and national level for their innovative approach to student success. It It was recently named among the top 150 colleges in the nation by the Aspen Institute and was one of only 10 colleges in the nation to be named a finalist in the prestigious Bellwether Legacy Awards. In our community, the college's Pledge program continues to make a difference by allowing Coachella Valley students to attend classes for 2 years completely tuition-free. The news is also good at Palm Desert Cal State San Bernardino campus. Eventually, I'm looking forward to, nothing personal, but having San Bernardino dropped from that name. Yes. Where the newly appointed Dean, Dr. Jake Drew, will begin leading the Coachella Valley's only public four-year university on July 1st. The university recently announced a $1 million endowed gift that will ultimately provide about $40,000 in annual scholarship support for Valley students interested in majoring in a business discipline. In addition, a more than $400,000 endowment is being established to strengthen access to state-of-the-art nursing equipment at the Palm Desert campus location. Since its launch, nearly 4,000 students have benefited from Cal State's remarkable Palm Desert campus, contributing to our economy and community in countless ways. I was one of those graduates of Cal State San Bernardino before it was here, so I had to drive back and forth, and I don't think students here realize what a time saver and a valuable asset they have to be able to just drive right down the street and find this college. We look forward to the day when the university has reached sufficient student enrollment to be renamed Cal State University Palm Desert. I also want to give a special thanks to the staff of the City of Palm Desert. We have many of them here today, and this is where I choke up because everywhere I go, the people I talk to tell me what a wonderful experience they had with our staff, no matter what the issue might have been, because sometimes those issues aren't always happy issues. Sometimes they are resolving maybe write-ups that they received. I don't think our city could be what it is without that staff, and I am always very grateful, and I'm so very proud to be a part of our city when we are approached and told, your staff made our process so much easier. I will never forget it, and I very much appreciate it. So I extend that to our staff, and I hope you share that with your fellow staff members when you return, that you are getting thanks all the time. So, in conclusion, I'm proud to say that the state of our city is strong, and I want to say again a big thanks to our 5-star Palm Desert Area Chamber of Commerce for organizing this event, and I want to express my personal thanks and deep gratitude on behalf of the city to all of the chamber members and to our Palm Desert businesses. We are what we are thanks to these businesses. Your hard work and entrepreneurial spirit fuel our economy and move our city forward. And thank you all again very much for allowing me to talk a little bit about Palm Desert and the many exciting things that are happening in our city. And now I'd like to say, here's Todd with a few more words.